streaming.
You don't have any fidgets.
I left one in my bag. I had
Put it
one
on
in
the
my backpack.
Yeah, yeah, where's my basket?
Very good. All right, got that.
All right, 6:03, we can call the meeting to order. We'd like to do introductions. You want to start?
Carol LeBrecq, Director of Newington Human Services. And thrilled to bits that we have this full room with all these new members. You wait.
Sure. Diana Lomenzo, Executive Director for Newington SEPTO. Thank you for having me.
I'm Jim Mankey.
Jules Calabro, is a citizen, but I also work in my day job in children's
Real
behavioral
job.
health.
Your page.
I'm Marcelli Trister. I'm part of the club now, I guess.
Welcome.
Kathy Gonzalez. Shelly Engelhardt, representing Newington High School.
Darius Mitchell, representative of Newington High School.
Oh, Officer Tim Fuji, I'm the school resource officer.
And I'm Melanie Enfield. I'm the pastor at the Church of Christ Congregation.
Brett Mangan, Youth Program Coordinator, Human Services.
Hi, I'm Jamie Harris. I'm the assistant principal of the Saturn House up at the high school.
Excellent. I'm Deanna Rini. I'm your chairperson. And also the chairperson of EDC.
Yep. And Kayla Hendrickson, Newington Human Services.
All right. Do we have minutes to approve?
We have May minutes to approve.
May minutes, our last minutes.
Nice to have a quorum.
It's so nice.
Oh, my name is spelled wrong.
Okay.
See that? I'm gonna say. I can't see that.
One.
17. Can you get your food?
Yeah.
No, I
No,
have to get my
my-
food. I stopped on the way here.
Where's it spelled wrong? What is?
RENEY.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Where's the red letters?
Everybody else's name look good? All right, can I get a motion?
Was
I get a motion?
Is your name spelled right?
Excellent,
If you were
second.
at the May meeting, a motion to approve.
If your name is on the list.
Apparently I was there, so.
All right, Tim had a motion. Can I have a second?
I'll
Second.
be the second.
Oh, there we go, Jules.
Third.
All right, all in favor? All right. What's next? Discuss upcoming schedule and events, awareness and or fundraising.
So just a quick, I'll jump in on fundraising, just a quick update. We have Raise Right, which is a membership that we started 2 years ago for Youth Adult Council. So when we purchase gift cards, we get a rebate off of them. We used it to purchase our Human Services holiday gift cards that we give out to 1,000 individuals. And so we got close to $600 in rebate
Wow.
for Youth Adult Council.
That's great.
What are you fundraising for? What are you looking at this?
The only cost really so far has been, 2 scholarships that we do, and right now they're still at $500, although we kind of entertained being able to increase that, but.
And Steve has joined us. Steve, can you hear us okay?
Yep. Yay,
All right.
Steve, full house.
Steve, we're up to discuss upcoming schedule and events, awareness and or fundraising. So our last, do we want to break it down, talk about awareness and then fundraising?
Sure.
So the last awareness event was, what was it called?
We did Screenagers.
Screenagers, yes.
Screenagers.
Do you want to just go over that for our new?
So we held an event at the high school called Screenagers Under the Influence. It was a community conversation with parents and students around the impacts of substances and kind of how to start the conversation. So it was a kind of an independent film that was done. We received excuse me, a grant for it through Amplify, which is kind of coordinates our LPC. And we also had a vendor fair to go along with it, with resources. We had upwards of 40 individuals who came. And we received a lot of really good feedback from both parents and students. So yeah, it was good. Nice resources. We had folks from Al-Anon, Alateen, Amplify, Intercommunity, CCHD. Yeah. Interval House was there, so tried to kind of have a wide variety of resources for folks.
Great.
And then we talk about bingo too.
Yeah.
Event we did.
Yeah, that would be the fundraising. So we, that's what we got done last time around, right? We got one awareness event and one fundraising event. So the fundraising event was a family bingo.
We did like a family game night, so there was like picture booth and we did some bingo, some raffle prizes. Food was donated and we also had resources available there as well. So we had the folks from Amplify, the regional gambling awareness team had a representative there, as well as Alateen, to have some resources for folks about gaming and gambling responsibly.
We made about $900 at that. And our current balance as of June of 24, which doesn't reflect the raise right, was 2,245. So roughly 2,800 in there now.
How is that in relation to past years going?
About
The same.
So do we want to plan out what we would like to do next?
We did at the first meeting in September that I think was kind of like an unofficial meeting. Talk about pursuing the $500 moratorium as part of our grant that we applied for. So we do have that $500. They are strongly encouraging that it go towards vaping, cannabis, and new item on the forefront that I just learned about 2 weeks ago, Kratom. So I don't know if you want to talk about the research you've done on that.
Yeah, so about this new,
Mm.
this new thing called Kratom, it's sold at gas stations. It is not regulated at all, by FDA at all. But in low doses can kind of cause a stimulant effect, in higher doses, a more sedating effect, and it acts on the same receptors in the brain as, opioids do. So it's kind of activating in the same way, but there's no kind of regulations around it. It's sold in capsule form. It's now being used in gummies, and anybody can access it. There's no age restrictions on it.
So the Southington Local
Mhm.
Prevention Council has taken this on as an issue, and they've been active in trying to put it forward as a legislative issue. They've organized a legislative day at the Capitol. I want to say it's February 5th.
Mhm. It is.
We'll forward that to you and anybody that could come. There's also within that flyer, the ability to get a letter if you wanted to send in a letter supporting
So they're working.
monitoring of this and pushing
Yeah.
towards FDA regulation.
Mhm.
And then there's also a fact sheet, so.
These, like all these new substances, like, you know, the synthetic marijuana when it came out. Is there automatic legislation that anything that's being sold to children at least has to go through any kind of, so they can sell it to children? It's not.
Well, it has to be an age, right? There's like an age
I don't
on it,
know.
I think.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe this has to be 18 and over, but I'm not sure. It's very new. Although I did go to New Haven over the weekend to an art show, and like on every corner at every convenience, Kratom sold here.
Huh.
So,
It's getting big.
What forces it?
I think they're also doing, Southington's Coalition is gonna have like a youth leadership webinar, January 29th. So that information is also on the flyer too, so if you guys wanna join our youth in the room.
Educational materials we should think about creating or probably already created, I'm guessing, that we could just pass out to convenience stores, reminding them of the legal age.
Yeah, there's a one page, a
And-
link to a one page thing, but yeah,
We can print them, bring them to our local
yeah.
convenience stores, let them know. The
Yeah,
Yeah.
neighbors are kind of watching. kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do folks, I just curious if this feels like a good topic for an awareness in the
100%.
spring?
I wanna know what the youth has to have to say. Do you guys know what this is and have you heard about
I've
it?
never heard
It's
of
the first time?
it.
Yeah.
First time, so it's gotta be new.
Know if it's new or if I'm thinking of something that's completely different, but it sounds like that. I thought that was used for like pain. No?
So that's it. So it acts on the same.
So that's been around for a while,
Like
like,
acts on the same receptors, but in higher doses, it can kind of mimic like an
Okay.
opioid overdose
Okay.
type.
So, according to, my quick Google search, in the state of Connecticut, there's no regulations, including age restrictions.
oh, wow, okay.
In one of the handouts, which, you know, like we said, we'll send out to everybody, but it talks about it being like gas station heroin is like what it's referred to as because of the effects it can have. And there's no dosing limits on it. There's no age limits on it.
They showed what would look like, you know how like cookies, like you're supposed to eat one, that's a serving, right?
Yeah.
So this was like on that, and it showed what looked like to me, layman, one serving, and it was 6 servings, so, or 6 doses. So you can see how easily it could be.
Yeah, yeah.
12-year-old kid didn't know what
Right,
a serving was, how to.
Right.
Go kid eats one cookie.
And there's ones like the gummies that start to look like, there's like a candy like Nerds Clusters. So it kind of looks like that, like mimicking that.
Right.
Yeah. We'll get
So
that
we
sent
have
out.
$500 to put towards that. Kayla's reached out to a couple of possible presenters, which
Mhm.
we may pay an honorarium towards, but,
So when could we get something together? I mean, for March?
I don't know, at ASAP, but yeah,
I mean,
we're-
we can't
we
do it in
just-
January, it's too soon.
yeah, probably March.
So that could be
February's
being
kinda iffy
sold
with
like
the
in our
weather requirements,
gas
you know.
stations and
Yeah.
stuff. I'll have
Yeah.
to keep, now I'm gonna look.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Hold my fact sheets.
has it been in
That's crazy.
town, do we know, or?
What?
Has it been in town? I mean. you
Yeah,
said New
I
Haven,
don't know.
just
I
wondering.
I saw it in New Haven. I have not seen it like posted like that.
It's coming,
If it's New
yeah.
Haven, it's here by.
Yeah.
By summer.
Yeah.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Probably as we walk
It's
out now.
probably
just
on the
wondering.
Berlin Turnpike. my
Local
guess would be.
convenience store is.
It's
7-Eleven.
definitely on the turnpike, whether you can buy it in the store or not on the turnpike
Yeah,
is
that's
different.
true.
I could walk to 7-Eleven after school because I have track practice and see if it's there.
You know where to get it.
Well, if it's for track practice, you should job.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Oh, your coach.
So coach, I'm doing some investigating for my town meeting.
Yeah, I got a little youth adult council business.
Yeah, I gotta go check.
Don't worry, I'm jogging.
But AP Harrison, I have a job.
So I was wondering like what the complications were for overdose, like a.
Said liver
Opium.
toxicity, potential for seizures, things of that nature.
Well, they said heroin at the gas station.
But not something that I don't think
But
would
not something
respond to
Narcan would work
Narcan
on.
or that
Right.
Narcan would
It
act
does
on.
say it.
So-
It's addiction as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's.
Yeah,
So are we
fast
looking-
heart rate.
Are we looking at doing something like the library and having, invited the public in
Mhm.
and doing something like that?
Like a presentation.
I
Like
think
a
so,
presentation?
yeah.
I think that
That's a good
probably
idea.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like this is the new thing coming in.
Well, that would be good to gear it towards parents, you
Yeah.
know,
I think
to
parents.
inform,
Adults,
you
parents,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we get a speaker, I think, you know, for mid to late March would probably be good. I would think that'd be a good time frame and it would give us time to get our stuff, our
Mhm.
ducks in a row.
The Mayo Clinic says that the treatment for kratom overdose is like the treatment for opioid overdose, includes use of naloxone and naloxone. So it looks like,
They don't know what it is, you know.
Right, if they don't
well,
know
yeah,
that,
if
but.
it's if it's your opioid receptors reacting to it, it makes a lot of sense that
Yeah.
your body will process it the same. Yeah, oh my.
I can find out.
And then see what Southington's doing, if they have something, like if they have a presenter, maybe a few of us can go and kind of vet the people or whatever. And then use
They
them
are
for-
gonna have a presenter at the February 5th thing,
Perfect,
that's
yeah.
during the day, but
Yeah.
they are having a presenter there and they've invited all the legislators and the more
Yeah.
representatives
Yeah.
from other
And
prevention councils, the better.
their outreach person, I reached out to her today. She got back to me pretty quickly. But she said that she has a presentation she had shared with me that I can share. And she had also said she could connect us with a speaker. So, I should be able to get that set up in the next couple of days.
Was that through umbilical?
Amplify.
Amplify?
No, so, they're through the steps, like the
There's-
Southern State Coalition.
Like
Um,
where,
so
yeah,
she's
there's
their-
steps and stuff.
Yeah, she's their, outreach person.
Okay, because we also have, to set up a Narcan training. It might be nice to match that with a Narcan training.
Yeah, especially if that
You know,
is.
Especially if it mimics it.
With the presenter, like for the
Awareness,
parents?
Yeah.
And I know if we were to have like the CCHD come in and do the Narcan training part of it, they provide the Narcan for free,
That's the one.
which is
on,
like $40 or something at at
Yeah,
CVS if you need to get it, so.
So when can somebody check with the library and see when they have an opening in there?
I can do that. Do we have a day of the week that's a preference? Like
Depends on
a
their
good
ability.
draw for people?
Oh, I would say
Thursday?
Yeah,
because
Thursday.
Mondays and Tuesdays is after the weekend, it's hard to people to remember over the weekend. If this way you get a chance to.
Get the news out
Yeah.
again.
How about sports nights with high schoolers? and-
They have every night, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, after this, I'm going back to a basketball game, so yeah.
Yeah, every
and-
night until 5.
Friday night is a good night.
Yeah, because just before the weekend.
You
people
know,
kinda
Early
get-
March,
Yeah.
probably before spring.
In our
If
meeting-
We did, spitballing here, it just popped into my head first time. If we did like an after-school thing for youth on the same day that we were doing the evening thing for adults, would kids
I think you're gonna
respond,
have
or-
more kids going to sport, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, unless, I don't know, I think you might get more
A
bang
lot
for
of
your.
activities are like directly after school,
Mhm.
so.
And that's probably around your musical stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The musical started last week.
The practices.
Practices, yeah, they started last week.
And the kids probably already know about it, it's the parents that don't,
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know,
Okay, that's fine.
Just to make for planning purposes, we do have a meeting Monday, March 10th. So if we are planning that, we maybe can meet before that to just settle everything last minute. You know, just.
Meaning a youth adult council
Yeah,
meeting March
Youth Adult
10th.
Council is March 10th, so if there's anything that we need to come together for, it might
So
be
we're
nice to
thinking
have that
possibly
before
the
Maybe like the
13th, the 12th.
or the 20th.
13th or the 20th, just so that way we can
Thursday, right?
Okay.
meet before that.
13th or 20th. Okay.
One of those Thursdays would be good.
Yeah.
I would just do it to the parents at this point.
Yeah.
I think you,
Mhm.
nothing wrong, but I think somebody, do it to the kids. If you gear it towards the kids, you don't get this much response. I think the parents need to hear that.
Kind of, yeah.
would we be able to push that out through the school, like with flyers and
Mhm.
I, you know, like go through
Yeah,
the
so we got
story
connected with
and.
Sally to go through Dr. Brummett's newsletter and I will email them to Tara to go out through the principal's newsletter as well.
Yeah, I think that's.
Give it to you for town
Yeah.
council and.
Yeah.
We'll post it on
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
page,
right.
which.
Put it in
will
a fishbowl.
hopefully get on
Right,
Help
yeah.
yourself.
Oh, you guys
Yeah,
are hanging out
student of the
Gucci's
month,
office,
here you go.
Gucci's office together.
Maybe this the time, this thing, we give the flyers to the parents and say, take this to your local convenience store, give
Yeah.
it to the sales.
That's where you're
Yeah,
gonna
Maybe the
get
salespeople,
more.
they'll be the salespeople say, I'm not gonna sell this because all these parents came in. and
I'm not
dropped it
coming
on
to
my-"
your store
not
anymore if
gonna-
you're.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes.
I
people-
like that.
It's all about.
Yeah.
That's a
action.
great
If-
idea.
If we all stop shopping the guy in the corner here and say,
Yeah.
we all
Not
stop
coming
and say,
anymore.
we're not coming here anymore, you're selling the stuff, I'm gonna say,
Right.
I'm not selling it anymore, because I'm not gonna buy it, you're not buying my gas.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we should definitely have flyers and say that
Yeah.
at the presentation,
Yeah.
you know, bring these with
Oh,
you.
definitely.
We stop shopping it, the guy's gonna stop selling.
You're very right.
Or we can even make like.
All right, what about
I'm
me?
ju- I'm just
I'm the royal
wondering.
guys.
Giving you a
Parents,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you know,
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
selling this, we're not getting my business.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Right.
You
And
know,
we can
whatever,
set
they can,
action,
they can
so-
add it, they can put whatever.
Whether we Saturday shop there or not. It
Maybe.
doesn't matter.
I like
Also,
that.
maybe we could just make like somebody who's good, which is not me, with
Yeah.
doing things on Facebook, like making little things. And if we all start sharing it, then the next, you know, you have
Yeah.
different friends, you have different friends, I have different friends. All of a sudden, everybody knows
The
parents,
power
and
thing.
it gives the parents, oh, we're having
Something
a,
they'll
you know, we're
adhere
having a thing about this. What is this stuff? And it's, so it might help
Yeah.
us to get people there too.
And even appreciation for those that are not selling. it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
I think it's.
That's true too, thank you for not selling us.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah, I like that. Positive pressure.
Yay.
That was easy.
Next.
The fundraiser would be the only other if we wanna add to, I mean, like we did 800 for raise right, but that doesn't fund even two at 500, two scholarships at 500, so.
What do you guys look for in a scholarship? Like what's your,
Yeah, I was gonna.
Amy.
or whatever, I guess?
Mr. Harris, you're up.
Well, there was a combination of factors that I took into consideration last year when sifting through the very many applications. Yes, that we took into consideration. Realistically, there's a ton of kids who have, fantastic track records academically. What we really look for are folks who are engaged in the community, both the school and broader community. And something else that we think about too is level of need. So.
I was gonna ask if maybe, do you do anything like for a trade school, or is it only
It can be for
for,
anything.
it can,
Any-
okay.
Doesn't matter if
Any
you're
post.
vendor or like grade level or any of that stuff.
Well, they're
Yeah.
seniors.
Yeah.
So you pick two.
We pick two,
And it
and we
doesn't matter.
generally look for, one male, one female
Yeah.
student. But, I've also been working to kind of get away from the male-female language and know that, there's students that may not identify that way, and so
Yeah.
that's something to consider too. So.
Yeah.
I think looking at need isn't nice, cause a lot of times those kids might not.
And there's a
Qualify
number
for
of
some other
places where
stuff.
that shows up in the application process, right? So there's some cover documentation that talks about income, and there's some self-disclosure there. And then you'll see a lot in, the reflection that the students provide as well as the essay. So there's a
What date-
few opportunities.
What day do they have to have that in by?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know that last year I reviewed them in, what was it, May, the beginning of May?
Yeah.
And this year, because of my experience last year being
Little sooner.
literally, no, it was a stack, it was
I
literally
was like
this
the
big a stack.
pre-person before he even got to them.
And so we're gonna
That's fine.
have the school counselors do some screening as well.
Yeah.
So we're, they'll have that criteria, they'll be able to pick some, and then, the idea we'd have a much smaller number to sift through.
That's a
Plus,
great idea.
They also have a number of scholarships that as a group they work on. And so they'll have a better understanding too of who may already be receiving other scholarships. So it gives us an opportunity to make sure it's not, Darius getting 17 scholarships. you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'd be getting 17.
Well, I'm just using.
I know,
those as examples.
historically though, we've had
Thank you. I
happens.
appreciate
youth
it.
members
You too.
who have been able to apply and receive it.
No, Shelley's not
Excluded.
Shelley's got 18.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
we see now, okay.
So
You know,
yeah,
What's the history of that? It's always been 500? You looking to do more, or what's your thought on that?
so it's traditionally been 500. My history with it is I took over for the first time last year. So yeah, I mean, more money is always
That's
better
great.
for kids. $500 is a nice amount of money.
Yeah, definitely.
But it covers 2 books at a 4-year.
You're
school.
lucky.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, $1,000 would go further for, college expenses.
I
for
think we
sure.
could probably make that decision if we have an earlier fundraiser,
I was gonna say,
right?
should we wait until after the fundraiser, see if we
And
have
I
it?
also think that opening it up, because it's not currently, it hasn't traditionally been open for, it says for college, not for college or trade school.
Mhm.
So I think
Oh,
making sure it's,
supposed to be,
okay, so
yeah,
making sure it's opened up for,
Yeah, that
people
wording's
who are
really
pursuing education in trades as well.
Yeah.
I think it's so
Any
important.
schooling past high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great, then I'll make sure that change gets.
Good.
How do you
Yeah.
guys function, like a 501(c), or are you under the, like, where does your money?
We're under the town.
Yeah.
So the size of the scholarship depends on how much we raise for funds.
Right.
It's not like it's not like we have an unlimited source we can.
Right.
It's,
We're at. We
Yeah.
fund it.
so we've done 500, for the 20 years I've been on this, on the
Mhm.
adult council,
Yeah.
that's all we can afford is we have to raise that 500,
Right.
which is really 1,000.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
So we can make that decision on how much it will be later.
Yeah.
Depending on our fundraising, and obviously, it seems like everybody wants to raise it if we can.
Mhm.
That would be great.
But we could always still put it in as two $500 scholarships.
And
we
then
can-
change
We
it.
can always
Up it.
write the checks for $600 each or
Right.
$7 each. and
But we
just
don't know the
advertise,
price.
you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
I don't think anybody would.
No one,
regret
no one
tell
would
you
complain,
it's-
you only signed up for 500.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
can't
agree to
accept
accept
$650. I only think 500.
Feels like a moral, exercise. Are you gonna report that you got more than you
That
applied?
was the real test. It's like every walk. You only get the money if you show you deserve the money, but after you watch all your friends get sucked into the chocolate.
Grin and hell, yeah, I love it.
Fantastic.
I love that. So what I add to the
We're
group.
just gonna
guys.
use it tomorrow in school.
Well, Newington Septo's having our second annual resource fair, April 12th at the high school, so you guys are more than welcome to come and have a table. I know Kayla's doing it for the human resource department, but if we wanted to do a youth council one as well, you guys are more than welcome to do one.
What day is that?
April 12th. From 11 to 3 at Newington High.
Do we have any thoughts on fundraisers while we're still on that line item?
Well, I was gonna ask, so you had talked about the gift cards before, but this might be a charity idea. I know that one of the organizations that we work with, a charitable organization. And I know that they went on, I think it was Amazon or another business, where that during that certain week. I'm not sure if this is akin to kind of what you did, but during a certain week, if people ordered from either that restaurant or that
Amazon or-
service, they
yeah.
get a certain percentage.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's what you
we
did
did
with
that,
one.
we did that for our holiday program when Jamie D. Simone was here, and then unfortunately she left and the wealth of that knowledge left with her. It's not,
I'm not sure if
we
it's
didn't
under
get
the
as much
terms
of a
that we
response
got.
as you might think for that, but it's a no work, possibility. We certainly could look into doing something like that.
The other thing, I just saw on my work Facebook, as I'm looking through like different activities that are going around, kind of through the state, I saw something that was really interesting. I caught my attention. And it was at a coffee house. And they were having an open night poetry slam for teachers. And I thought, that must be really cool, because I'm quite sure like students would love to see that. Have something like a teacher talent show or a teacher.
That is a cool
whatever.
idea.
And I could see that pull in people. I'm just mentioning it because it sounds like a way to kind of raise money where you get those parents and students.
What, you sell tickets to
And
come in,
teachers,
or?
family,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this was set up.
We'd have
With the
to,
coffee house, you could ask, and they may be able to donate whoever buys a coffee that cost as part of it, because I don't know.
so,
Well,
yeah,
we've got
setting it
the
up,
new,
some
Yeah.
Casador.
You'd have to see.
Well,
how
no,
they
I
would
was,
do it.
The one through the church, but maybe that's too much of a church connection, I don't know.
Well, that would be a small, that place, I
Small,
think, yeah, I mean, I only said Casadora, cause I don't know if you've been there, but that outside, like that outside place is huge.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Right where the old Brick Cheese was,
Oh, that new one.
or even
Yeah.
at the high school, but then you don't
I
have the
live there.
food, the ability
Yeah,
to,
Yeah.
if you did it like with a restaurant or something, I bet you could have like drinks, I don't know if you could. put them in a small, but you might not be able to grow it, like if you had stuff. Of the whole, yeah.
Yeah, we're promoting this, you buy
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Right, and then maybe we get a percentage of the night.
Yeah.
They would be willing to do something like that.
For a certain dish that they have.
Mhm.
It's been like- Yeah, I don't know how that works, but you know, it's something you could.
But we could also sell tickets, like, to come.
One of the things that Newington Septo is doing. Go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm just wondering, you know, I was going by the old food mart today or whatever it's been, and it's, you know, that big pickleball place now, Blaze or whatever. Maybe we should look at doing some sort of a fundraiser. I don't know if we would do it there. Something with, you know, teachers and, you know, put your teacher in a pickle or whatever. But maybe that seems to be such a hot thing lately. Every corner there's another pickleball place opening up. So it's a hot thing. So maybe there's a way where we used to do basketball, you know, maybe there's a way to kind of, I don't know if it's students or teachers or whatever, but there's such a high interest right now when you just say pickleball.
That actually is a good idea.
Yeah. I like that.
We could
That's
do
really cool
teachers, we
idea.
could do
Kids play pickleball.
town council members, we could
Yeah.
do.
Wait a minute, do that,
Yeah.
volleyball is, wait, what do we do? Is it volleyball or?
Yeah, gym class.
That's the only time
Gary, you want me to my pickleball partner?
Maybe.
I'm bringing
I'm
middle
really good
schoolers
at
up. You are?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play that.
Do it.
I need to bring them out.
Bring them out.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it is very, it is
But
very,
it can be fun.
So it could be a fundraiser in
Yeah.
the way that,
It's,
What do
you
we
know,
do with
also
the dime
promoting
box?
like wellness and we're the prevention council, so like, you know, can
Yeah,
kind of have
And
resources
the place
there too.
that's smart is instead of for spectators though.
yeah,
So you wouldn't get,
like the people coming in to
you
watch,
wouldn't get a whole bunch of people coming in to watch.
and that would be the draw
And then
too.
buy
Yeah,
pizza and.
yeah.
would
snacks.
people, even if there weren't spectators, would people pay to be in a competition?
I don't know, maybe.
With a prize?
There might.
Like golf
Like
tournaments,
have a
right?
tournament,
Like you
yeah,
don't have
pickleball
people that
tournament
watch,
Prize, yeah.
but
Maybe
you
if we
pay to
did
be
that-
in it.
that dodgeball floor, was it the high school, at the project graduation, was that the one?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we did, yeah.
Pickleball nets at the high school?
I don't know, maybe.
They do it in a gym class, right?
Yeah, it's a PE, yeah.
But I bet it
It's a
would be a
PE
free
thing. Maybe they just like lower the volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's.
So-
Yeah, badminton.
What would the kids?
Everybody else in the parts.
Like the badminton.
Yeah, what do you guys want to go to? Do you want to pickleball?
I've never played it. Maybe I'll try it. I'm open to it.
I think that would draw a lot.
You know, another thing is, excuse me, I'm
Like,
sorry.
Diana was starting to ask about our timeline and kind of when we need this by, right? So if we're gonna organize something to finish off this year's scholarship, it sounds like it needs to be a little quick and easy, like a table
But one of the things I had.
in April at your
Oh,
place
100%. And one of the things that we're doing for
that.
Newington Septo is
And
Friends of
then maybe
Newington
next year.
Septo decals. So I'm going off of what he had said, going to all these different places, right? So the idea is you go to a business, you say, okay, you're a Friends of Newington Septo, right? And they get a little decal and they put it in their business window. It could be $25, $50, whatever that donation is. I'm going off of what you guys are saying for all of the convenience stores, right? So they are the Friends of the Youth Council. We're Friends of the Newington Youth Council, and we're gonna donate money to the Youth Council, and you're not gonna sell what we don't want you to sell. So it kind of all gets
That's a really
intertwined.
good idea, and I think
I
it
like
was
that.
last
And that
semester,
would be
last
easy.
Yeah.
season, whatever. Jessica kind of worked to design like a new logo.
Mhm.
So we have the new logo that could possibly
Could be
be made
tweaked
into
to
like
say Friends
stickers.
of.
Yeah, Friends of Newington Youth Adult Council, and then make those into stickers, like the.
And I have a
decals, like
letter
Friends.
that's kind of going, so we can kind of correlate it and tweak it, so it says to you guys, so everybody's gonna have a Friends of Newington Septo and a Friends of the Newington Youth Council in their window. Starting with you, Deanna, you're the first
You
person.
got it. Got it.
First sticker.
I'm not, just playing
No,
devil's advocate,
no,
the
go
difference is we're a town organization, you're a private organization.
Oh, is there a rule, like, is there
I don't know.
anything that?
I
we
just-
couldn't
I
do there?
Worth checking into.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if there
definitely.
is,
Yeah.
because otherwise, I can see there'll be a Parks and
Well,
Rec will
I
do
can
the same
check on
thing,
that
and
part of
the
it.
library will be doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
then we'll.
Heck, if we do something before.
Yeah, God forbid. Only
No,
because
it's good.
I can
No,
see,
it's
I
good
can see
to-
a private group
the
doing it, because
liability.
that would make sense. But we're a town, group, it'd be
Yeah.
like, it'd be like the town strong arming people to, I don't know.
Okay, I will check on
Good
that.
feedback.
That might be
Good feedback, yeah.
an issue.
I can see where you're.
Another idea is a clothing, toy and swap buy. So people come and they pay a certain amount of money, they bring all their clothes and toys and you just swap it. And they pay like $20 to get in, you take what you want for your size, you donate what you want. So that was another idea, so. That we're not using for Newington stuff though, so it's all yours. You could- That idea.
That's a very popular thing. I've been trying to figure out how to do it with athletic
Yeah.
equipment
Oh,
and I can't figure out how to do it. So if we want to do that as a fundraiser, that'd be really cool.
That'd be great.
Because parents really, really want that. I mean, you guys know, cleats, you grow out
Oh, yeah.
in like
Yeah.
5 seconds. and-
Sports, yeah, sports.
Find track shoes.
So how do you do that? You pay to get in and then.
You bring all your items and you just pick what you want. It's organized, so like, I need size 6, I'm dying for size 6, John's out of 5, right? And I'm like, I'm chomping at the bit, here's all my nice 5 stuff. I'm gonna donate the money to the council, I want it to go to a good money, and then I'm able to, and you have money, you have items around it and thinking about how many items you wanna pick or whatever.
Maybe you
But-
say, hey, you donated 5 items, you get 5 items. I
Right,
don't know,
something
you
like
know,
that,
like,
yeah.
How many items?
you could do some kind of rule, but yeah.
Up to.
I like the sports idea, very good.
Yeah.
One of the fundraisers that we see with a lot of clubs at the school, so I don't know how played out it may be, but a lot of places partner with a restaurant. Puerto Vallarta is great for it,
Yeah.
and they promote a night. It's usually one of the restaurants, kind of slower nights, and then they get a chunk of whatever the proceeds are.
That's
The
something
baseball
that you
team's
can
done
do
that
just on top of like,
One,
it's simple.
and that's what I was thinking, like, even if we did like a week of youth adult council,
Right.
and like we promote a different place each night of that week.
Yeah.
And, blast all over, like, these are folks who are supporting, the youth of Newington, so let's go out and support these businesses.
The restaurants,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's something that we wanna do, jump on making phone calls to these restaurants because,
They're gonna
Yeah.
get booked up.
Yeah.
quick,
yeah.
I was gonna say booster clubs,
Yeah.
And then
boosters are,
Yeah, it
Because
does
it's
well.
easy.
I think we've done like one.
Puerto Vallarta is.
Oh,
You have a long list.
Yeah.
wait list,
Got that, yeah.
Sports thing, I have lots of stuff I would donate.
I know, I think the sports one is a good idea.
Is that something we wanna decide tonight or come back to the table with ideas or what do you guys, where are we at with that?
I mean, so you said we made 900 with the bingo, right? So are we missing like $1,100 or
We have
no?
20 something.
close to 2,000, but we never strip it down, right? So we could spend like 1,000 of that, we have enough for this year's scholarships. But
Oh, okay.
point taken, I'm not sure, somebody on this side made the point that if we earned enough that we felt like,
Mhm.
even though we're not advertising the scholarship at a higher rate, we could increase it post application for it. So, did that answer your question? I feel like I got lost
We
in
have
the
enough money
weeds.
Do we wanna start
Yeah.
talking about it and finalize the idea tonight,
Right.
or do we want to think about it more and come back to the table?
Yeah, I mean,
think
I
if we
kind of
come up
liked
with a
it,
good one.
the sooner the better.
My vote is sports swap. I don't know who else wants to.
I like the idea of the sports swap and the restaurant nights.
They both sound really good. I feel like both of them could bring a lot of
That
fun.
with the.
I mean, those are things that we can both do together, right? We can get a couple people to work on.
Could we do something like restaurant nights leading up to a
Mhm.
poetry night?
That's what I was gonna say. So like on like a Friday night, that would be like the big like poetry event, but we
Oh,
could do
that's
small
cool.
fundraisers around town throughout the week. Maybe have one sit down, but also like maybe hit like not fast food, but like a Moe's or something,
One
or
of the
hot, you know,
Subways did
Subway.
contact us at one
just
point,
so like
yeah.
it's more affordable for those that can't afford to go to sit down.
Yep, there's some that are more
Family
willing to
friendly,
work
yeah.
with, doing things like that.
I think we did one for Shake Shack, right? We did Shake Shack.
Right, who's the connection with-
So it sounds like we say yay to restaurant, whatever one, in connection with something else. And are we connecting it to a poetry reading, talent reading, whatever? Or a pickleball tournament, or clothes and sports equipment?
I say
Swap.
we scratch the clothes and do sports right before the sports season, so like
Yeah.
right at the end of February, early March.
Yeah, it-
For-
you're
because
right,
that's
we
when
have
the
to look
frost
it
and
up,
baseball
but
and all
Yeah,
those
like
sports
spring.
start.
Yeah.
That's when everyone needs this stuff the most.
When
What
does
is it?
spring
Darius,
sports
what'd you
start?
say?
March?
Sometime in March, yeah, sometime in March, around
Yeah.
February. That's what I remember. We have meetings that go on.
Ready to declutter my house and I have.
Yeah.
Props and I just
Excellent.
have never. Sure, so kid can use it.
So Diana, would you like to work on a subcommittee with myself and whoever else wants to do that?
Sports swap,
And
sure.
we will try to figure that out for
February's
end of
meeting.
February?
Yeah, beginning of March.
Yeah.
End of February would be good, great, but beginning of March would be the latest, right? What do you think
Alright,
on
so
that?
we will meet.
So we meet
When
the
does fall,
second.
when does spring sports start? March, mid-March or
Think end of March.
end of March?
End of March.
So what did you wanna do in conjunction with that? You wanted to do the restaurants or something
Maybe
else?
a
Restaurants and that, I heard you
So do
saying.
you then maybe wanna possibly move the presentation to a little bit later, cause we were talking like mid to end of March for.
I say no, I say that's an action item that we have to do, and it's kind of scary, but it's.
Okay, so then, so that we're not all working on 12 things, who would like to, so Diana and I will do the sports swap and try to get that done for the end of February, come back next month with an update. Who would like to work on
I think
the
we can
awareness
probably
event?
do The
Yeah,
awareness
on the
event,
awareness.
even within our department, and then present back at the
can
next
try.
We're
meeting.
gonna do like, do you want the sports one? Do you want the
I'll do the
awareness
sports
one?
one.
I could do the awareness one then.
All right.
Good.
And do we wanna do the restaurant
we
give
wanna
backs?
Also, do
Sally and I
you
can
guys
tag
wanna work
team.
on the restaurants?
Do the restaurant?
We'll try, we'll see what we got.
How many restaurants do we want? Do we wanna do like a full week?
Let's see what's
See
open.
what
Yeah.
is
It's
open,
open.
find
Yeah.
out.
Cause a lot of
Yeah.
them book up so fast.
Yep.
Oh, they do.
Yep.
They're probably
And book for noons and stuff, the one you call them to.
not this.
We're actually here for it too.
Double, yeah, double.
So it might only be for.
There's a lot of
So
new
it's me,
businesses too that
Carol.
Yeah.
might be willing to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Some of them are
Emails.
brutal, man.
You said a restaurant?
Maybe in the email?
Yeah, I
bring
gotta
your
bring
name.
email.
Oh, Brett
thought you
Brett
wanted to
wants
spell
to
it.
know who's
Who's-
in
who
what
said-
for
yeah,
the
who
minutes,
said-
so. Who's on the restaurants? Raise your hand,
If anybody
please.
else wants to hop in, we're gonna tag the restaurants.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
Who goes on restaurants too?
Great. Okay, sports swap, Deanna.
Diana?
Deanna, Diana.
And Darius.
That's good.
Dynamic, I was gonna say.
Triple?
Tria.
Wow, that was
I was
productive.
gonna say, well, let's she represent.
And then
I know you guys were.
item awareness.
I've been away over here.
Brett, did you get us for ours?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else?
Good,
wanna do that?
everybody,
So when's our next meeting?
Second Monday of February.
Okay.
No, we don't have any.
So
So,
he and I are
no
gonna have,
Sorry.
update then, right?
yes, you and I will
Have an
chat.
Second Monday,
Okay,
We'll plan a time to meet.
second.
Okay.
Steve, was there a committee you would like to? Not to call everybody out, but did everybody?
What else?
Anything, anybody?
February, March, second
That's my girl.
Monday of March.
All right, number 5, are we up to reports then?
I think we might be. Here we go.
Excellent. Reports.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, I gotta jump. I got the mayor's show.
Thank you for joining, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, but you know something, just as only because I'm swinging over to a bunch of people on another Zoom right now. you may wanna, Carol, you and I can talk offline if you want at some point. But this stuff is so good. I think it might be kind of cool if we look at I think February 3rd may be the next Talk to the Mayor show. Maybe
Sure.
we have somebody.
Get her on the
we-
radio, Steve. Get on the radio. I did his show a couple times, right, Steve?
What?
Get Kira on the radio. Get Kira on the radio with you.
Not a radio. Right now, I'm talking about Talk to the Mayor. I can.
Then we
I'll,
go.
I'll take Carol anywhere she wants to go. But having an update from the Youth Adult Council could be really, not that you have to do it every month, but just have
No.
somebody represent us.
I agree.
Second Tuesday and one Monday.
Good, thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Okay,
Steve.
bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.
So
All
did
right,
I.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I gotta run. Thanks a lot, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, any report?
Counts.
Carol.
Counts.
I have a couple of things. As part of our local prevention council grant, they had added in some deliverables this year. And one of them was a collection of data on local use of, and again, our target substances, vaping, cannabis, and kratom. And I didn't know if anybody from the council would be willing to do a little research and gather some data on that.
What does that look like in terms of like a survey if they're actively using it or if they are
I
aware of
think
it?
probably
Say it again.
started-
Would you?
So it's the requirement was a collection of data on local use of a substance, and then our specific grant was specific to vaping, cannabis, and kratom. So vape, Newington use, I think we could start with CCHD, I'm sure they have data.
Okay. Who's your contact at CCGP?
Charlie.
Charlie Brown, yeah.
Same, yeah, I thought they were just.
He's a real nice guy. Yeah, I can reach out and see if. send
Jamie,
me
do you guys
exactly
ever
what
do
you're
any
looking
like
for,
surveys
and
of
I
the
can see
school
if
about
there's
like
any.
substance use or like is, I know Christina's not here, but. do you
Yeah,
guys
no, we
do
don't
anything around-
like survey if kids are
information
using
to get the
substances.
results.
I can survey them, but everyone's gonna say no.
Everyone's gonna say no. That's why.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
Right.
be straightforward,
Surveys.
even if when it's
Survey
anonymous.
says.
Yeah.
Kratom illegal.
And write your locker.
Yeah.
The combination.
Not Connecticut.
Those kids are so open.
So I mean, it's, yeah,
If we were to either find or develop one, is there like a group of folks that we know that we could ask to participate in that, or?
I mean, if there's a group of kids, it's somehow self-selective normally, it's hard to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about juvenile probation?
I mean, they ask a lot of
Do you have,
questions,
like,
but
a-
don't
like a
know what
first number?
questions you ask.
Goes over there? Cause they get referrals, even though they're internal, I don't know.
Kids aren't gonna fill out
I'm gonna say,
something with
the
their
other
name on it, I
Is
mean.
there's
No,
a-
but we would survey anonymously, but we're still not gonna get on.
No, but what about, I was gonna say, Christina's class.
CT data might
Yeah, but
have
that's,
some
again, that's a
information. So it's
self-selected group.
basically a
Like,
database
those
that
classes,
collects
like,
pretty much
area
any
and
kind of
whatnot.
survey or information from all
Forgot the name
different
of her
sources,
class.
could be like the
Oh,
questionnaires you
Yeah,
fill out
that
at
is
your
those.
doctor's, or like.
Yeah, I have
those
a
that-
friend who's.
And they compile it all into the raw data, so you can kind of pull from there, so there may be some information there.
Yeah, I'll do some,
And take a look and say,
let's see what I find.
I was gonna ask again, one more time. Does the district do the school health survey every 2 years?
No,
Like the
Central
schools.
Connecticut Health District, do they do it? Or
Well,
does
it's
the
usually-
school district do
It's
it?
usually is it usually the preventable with the RBHA?
They,
I could go to the
Survey
7-Eleven.
they have, yeah, so they have done it, we have not, we did
Newington
a
has
couple
not
of
taken-
questions. We have done a couple of questions on the townwide survey that went out, 2 years ago? But no, we haven't done it's a requirement to get an additional prevention grant, which is like big bucks. We have not,
Why haven't we not done that
Participated
to get the
that.
big bucks?
because we haven't done it. Oh.
Like, I'm not sure who's required to, I know like the bigger.
You're
school
required
districts.
for that grant
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
You
It,
can still check with, Amplify to see what data they have.
oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They're the ones
Well, they're the ones
requiring it.
asking the data for the
So they
data.
want.
they're the ones
They're the-
asking.
Yeah, they're, yeah.
That's
So
what
they
they've
don't
got.
have
Tell
to.
them to do it.
So they're.
You never knew it's.
Never knew. Just do it. Here's what we got.
I didn't know it was there.
So-
Amplify administers the local prevention
They would be
council.
really
grant.
interested.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, we got the same numbers you got. We were
Yeah.
very accurate. Very accurate.
But I think it would be amazing if there was any way to get something even randomly out through the school system. I don't know how to make that happen, but,
Yeah, I mean, we could talk to the nurse administrator for the district, Mercy Hetherington.
yeah.
You know, she might be somebody who would have some thoughts on that. But I don't know how surveying minors about substance use broadly may be received by the broader school community.
Or
Yeah, do you need?
parents.
That's part of the broader school community.
Is it considered like interrogating?
No, we're pretty well acquainted with what that answer looks like. It's not that we don't wanna know, it's that I don't know that there's, I don't know what the blowback would be
Yeah.
for attempting to ask. And also, I don't know that the results we'll get will be, at any level of reliability.
What about serving like teachers or counselors? Would they have maybe some of that information?
Asking about like numbers on their caseload or something.
Maybe, yeah, like not specific information, but maybe.
I think you'd
like-
have to go through Mercy probably to, that's.
Yeah, it's
That's a lot
still
of, that's privacy and there's a
health
lot of,
information.
you're crossing, you gotta be careful
Yeah.
with privacies and things.
But sometimes too, it's not that the school staff don't wanna know the answer. Sometimes the towns don't wanna have a report out there that says, you know,
Oh, yeah.
20% of our kids are on drugs or whatever. So sometimes they, no, that's really, yeah, that's really.
No, it's not that.
That's pretty conservative.
Rookie number. I'm saying sometimes the towns don't want that.
Yeah,
Written
no,
in.
I think there's people who
Doesn't
are
make you
concerned
look
about
great.
those
Get a
things. I
grant?
mean,
Really upset that on
Yeah, I mean, it's a requirement. Have to have a knowledge
Looking at it
base
from like
on.
the preventative
You need to
side
know
too,
what the
right?
use is,
It's like,
know what
do
the
we,
needs are.
you know, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? It's like, what do we need in place to prevent things from happening?
well,
So.
and how do you know that what you're doing is helping prevent things if you don't know what a baseline looks like? Like, it's all, there's a good need for that information. And I'm not saying it's not important. I just don't know how tenable or reliable the proposition is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Be curious.
I mean, they
what
have
other-
canned surveys that are costly. We don't have money in any of our funding sources at this point, but that's something we could look at when we're applying for next cycle. You know, if we felt we needed to know more about what the youth use and needs are in Newington, that's something we could pursue. But through June 30th, we don't have money for that.
What, the only other thought, since we just said that we wouldn't talk to the kids in school, what if we talk to the kids that graduate when they're 18?
That's what I was thinking,
And
but
talk to them about their last 4 years,
Like an exit interview.
an exit
Yeah.
interview.
Does that seem any more amenable? Jamie?
Once they're not students anymore, then I don't know how we would, we'd have to find a mechanism for reaching.
the only thing I can think about is like maybe somehow because you need it by June 30th.
It'd be for our closing report, so it's money spent by June 30th, report typically by middle of the summer.
I was gonna say maybe if we had like a giveaway at like Safe Grad.
Oh,
Maybe
collect their
they
information.
complete this survey.
That's a great idea.
that is a great idea. And we give $1,000 to
That's a
Safe Grad.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
It's after graduation.
no,
But I'm just,
out there.
you
Yeah.
know, Safe Grad, I mean, I can speak on behalf of like my own experience of going to Safe Grad. There was a bunch of students that did partake in a lot of things and chose to go to Safe Grad. So you're going to get that mix.
Absolutely. I worked it last year.
I like it, and it'd be voluntary, but yeah.
But you can give away, we can give away something for them completing it.
So that is, not a high school
You'd
function.
have to go through Lisa. and
Right,
then-
So that would,
I connect with them for,
Yes.
cause we make $1,000
That would
donation
be-
to them, so we
yeah.
can kind of like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be more than,
I
I
think
am
it'd be open to it.
sure that would be, I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Mhm.
That's a great idea.
Just think,
Like I said.
but do they have to be 18? Is it okay if they're 17? Cause there's that there too, so that's
I
the only
think
thing,
kids can
that's the only other
kinda-
thing I would
yeah.
think of.
it will be longer students. so-
Show me your certificate, your graduation.
And it would have to be, anonymous, obviously.
Yeah,
Oh, well then,
yeah, we're not looking for names.
Yeah,
there you go.
they're always looking for volunteers for Project Grad anyway, so.
And
I'm sure
a
they
lot
will.
of the surveys we've been able to set up now with a Survey Monkey like QR code.
Yeah, do it.
So we wouldn't even, it's not even like you're gonna see people like filling out
Right.
papers. They
They
can
check-
just.
They all got a
snap
phone.
pic and do it on their phone real quick.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah.
They sure do.
If we need volunteers that night to
Yeah.
facilitate.
I would be more than happy to volunteer for that.
It's
a fun night.
Right.
Definitely explore that.
It's
That's a
awesome.
great
That's your
idea.
contribution for the year right
That
there.
was excellent.
Former Newington High School grad over here.
Yeah.
What's the raffle prize though?
We can get something donated.
No, I'm giving a hard time.
Very own diploma case.
Yeah, right.
One of those really nice frames.
Yeah.
That's it.
with crap. In the funny poses.
Okay.
Any other business?
I like to lay myself.
You wanna report on the QPR? Make sure folks know
Um,
about that and the March growth.
Yep, so we are doing a QPR training on Wednesday, the 15th.
What is that?
QPR stands for Question, Persuade, Refer. It's a suicide prevention model. So myself and Carissa Peckrell from Weathersfield are co-facilitating that. It's gonna be hybrid, so we'll be in this room here. We'll also have a Zoom link for it. And I can email out the registration code to you guys. We do have a limit of 20 folks, but if we do have more than that, then we'll schedule another event. We have about, I think as of this afternoon, we have about 5 spaces left. So I can forward that to you guys. And the 15th, it's on Wednesday this week.
And then the Wellness Wednesday in March.
Yes, and then March Wellness Wednesday will be back. We're gonna, I have to figure out the exact which Wednesday. I think it's gonna be the second Wednesday of March. But we're partnering with, I don't remember Darlene's last name, Darlene, to do a terrarium planting. So she's gonna help us with that. I think we're gonna do it in the gardening room at the senior center.
And Brett, do you wanna share about the leadership?
Oh, yeah, so tomorrow night, I started a youth, it's Youth Leadership Coalition, so it's a group of students, that I just put a flyer out with Newington High, and we plan on doing a lot of like community service events, fundraising, things like that. If they have like community-wide events, that's something that they want. It's a program based on like their voices are heard. I'm just an adult in the room. So whatever they want to plan and do, then, you know, we're gonna try and make it happen.
Great.
Yeah, so,
Cool.
yeah.
That's very cool.
Did you get a lot of people? A lot of
I
kids?
have currently 8 students signed up.
Nice.
Yeah, I was hoping to get around 10, so if
They'll
there's still
all be
opening.
more of
I asked these two, but they're busy with their own lives. I get it. I know, but valid, I would rather have you say that you're too busy than sign up for something that you can't do on top of this. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'm only kidding.
And then one more thing, because I forgot about it, but it's really important. Once a month, I'm running a SMART meeting, so, it's
Not like
self-management.
this meeting.
Yes. But it's to help our high school students build some self-management techniques and to help change some problem behaviors if they're struggling with that. So, we've had a lot of students who have talked to us about, I hear, I have a really hard time getting up in the morning and getting to school. So, okay, what are some things we can change about that? Like concrete tools that they can use. So for some students, it might be because of substances, it might be mental health related. But right now it's open to the high school students. So that'll be the third Wednesday of this month.
How do they know that this is available?
So we have the flyer going out through Dr. Brummett's newsletter as well as with Tara's principal newsletter at the school. And we have it up on the Facebook page and posted in the 3 Newington Facebook groups. And
We
once
should
we
hook
have
up
an
with the
Instagram-
ESS room too and see if you
Once we
can.
have an Instagram,
There,
it'll
that's a
be on
great
there.
idea.
Yeah.
What's the ESS room?
Effective School Solutions. It's a organization that we partner with at the high school and the middle schools now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it is a support for students who have mental health and social emotional needs that are difficult to meet in a school setting. So this is a space where there are at the high school 3 social workers who work to support students. And also there's academic support through that program as
It's
well.
an
That's great.
amazing, amazing.
How do we get that into
program.
Newington? How does that work?
So it's in Newington because it was piloted in Berlin and it was seen as effective there. And we were experiencing some challenges with students who, because of social, emotional, and behavioral needs, were looking at outplacement and things like that.
Wow.
So this is an intervention for students, with significant need. There's wraparound support services. They connect with clinicians. They do family therapy on a weekly basis with families. So it really is one of the most amazing programs for students who.
Is that like a revolving door, or do you have like a certain number that are there right now? Or it kind of just?
No, there's a fixed
fluctuates?
number.
Yeah.
It's right now we have 3 social workers who are housed at Newington High School. And I think there's 18 students in it right now, give or take.
And they kind of phase out, like
yeah,
as
so,
they do better, then make room.
Students may graduate or maybe they don't need the program anymore because it was successful. And when those spaces open up, more people go to.
There's more of a need
That's great.
than there is of actual.
And that's
Oh,
what-
there's always
Yeah,
a back.
which is.
And then what's Newington buy-in on that? Like, what does that look like? So ESS comes in as like a private organization
Yeah,
and helps Newington.
Yeah.
And then what's Newington's thought on that in terms of like the 18 that you're talking about? So like within those 3 social workers, it's ESS that pretty much runs that program throughout the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a third party or like somebody that you guys contract with?
yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So they're not a part of the high school in terms of how we function,
Yeah.
but we collaborate with them. So my first year at the high school was their first year at the high school. So, I've been with that program and, all the growing pains of how we figured out,
Right.
over the course of the first year, how to navigate their role in the school as well. So,
That's
it's
great.
been a really, really good growth process. But it's been life-changing for kids.
That's great.
To also answer your question, I also share it with our juvenile review board students who come through, as well as the student review board. So when folks are kind of brought forward to be preventative about grades, attendance, things like that, the flyers are given to the parents too, and we talk a little bit about it.
Who was your first member?
Who was my first member?
Who was the first person to show up?
Jamie?
Yep.
Mr. Jamie Harris was
Yep.
my first participant.
Still having a hard time getting out of bed.
No, I think the
Same.
clinicians, would be able to maybe
Yeah.
think,
For sure.
give some kids
And
your.
it's
info,
very
too.
much based on like cognitive behavioral therapy, rational emotional behavioral therapy. Basically saying that you are responsible for you and with the right tools can maybe make some better choices that don't create as much friction in your life.
We all need
So,
tools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so and it's kind of based on for anybody, with any kind of like behavior modification you're trying to do. So it's not specifically for just substances or vaping or, you know, I don't wanna bite my nails, I wanna change my eating habits, things like that.
It's a great idea.
I would love to know what the youth, what's the best way to market to you guys? Cause we do Parent Square and stuff like that, but like, what, like Instagram, TikTok, like where do you guys find out about events that you wanna go to or do things?
I don't have any social media.
That's what I'm talking about.
So,
Thank your
I
parents.
find out from.
Good parent.
Grown up.
Actually, not even my parents, my sister has it, I just choose not to have it, so
Alright.
I find out from Gmail, my mother, and that's about it.
Yeah,
My parents are the same as hers. I don't have any
You know?
social media.
All
for like
right.
5
Brett,
Oh, yeah, Brett tells me everything. Yeah, Brett's my informer. He tells me everything.
Automatic scholarships.
Brett, you're in.
I'm also informing, see that?
I mean, no.
A newsletter.
So yeah, from people, I find out from people, so like in person.
And isn't that interesting? You always get the information you need and are where you need to be.
Right,
Not always, usually.
usually.
But you also avoid information you don't need.
Right, just
Yeah.
overload, it fills with a lot of information.
I
Okay.
also just publicly want to thank Shelley, and I'm not sure who else participated, but we had a turkey drive and they were instrumental in creating our marketing.
That's awesome.
looking for turkeys. They came into our office a couple of days ago.
Emmy,
Did an awesome job. So who was it?
Liv, Emmy,
Darius
Kaylee,
helped on that.
Liv, Darius, and
I was like
Leah.
supervisor.
I think it was just us
And then it was just
five.
us.
Yeah, just five.
So an amazing outgrowth of
Thank
being
you.
in
Mhm.
adult
That's
council. We
awesome.
appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, we got
Lots of turkeys.
That's good.
All right.
Some even went in the freezer.
Okay, do we have any public
Don't
comments?
have anyone else
Anybody
online.
else on but us? I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Excellent, all in favor? And we are adjourned, 7:09.
Okay. The
The chair.
Hold on, I gotta stop the recording.